What's up everybody? Welcome to today's Java lesson where we're going to go over for loops. So before everyone starts this video, I want everyone to go take a look at a really good song called Around the World by Daft Punk. It's actually going to be the main topic of this video. Give it a listen, and when you're done, come back. So in today's program, we're going to print the lyrics to Around the World out to the console. So I've started out here on my online IDE, the link is in the description. And I've already started. So I made a system.out.println around the world. We can execute it. So yeah, we're already off to a great start. I'll just go ahead and copy and paste this, and I'll see you in about 20 minutes when I'm done copying and pasting everything. All right, that's actually not what we're gonna do. What if I told you that we could actually print out all the lyrics using just like 3 lines of code? That's actually exactly what for loops are going to do for us. And so this is the basics of how for loops look. So for loops all start with for, and then some start condition, some end condition, and then we update something. And then we put exactly what we want to loop inside the open brackets. So I'll just write do stuff for now. And so the start condition is basically, most of the time we'll put a variable in there and it'll be set to like 0 or some predefined value. And then the end condition is pretty much what it sounds like. Once the variable that we made satisfies this condition, we're going to stop looping. And the update is typically just something like I++, the variable ++. It's how the variable changes after each loop. Typically, for loops look something like this. We say int I equals 0, semicolon. Here we're going to put the condition for when we want it to stop. And I haven't actually counted how many lines are here, but let's just call it 40. So I'll say I less than 40. So we'll keep going until it's 40 exactly, and then we'll say I++. And so now what's going to happen is we'll enter the for loop and we'll set a variable I to be 0, and then we check, is I less than 40? It is, so we're going to go into here, and right now we don't do anything, but whatever's in here will be executed. And then we'll come up here and increment I and do the process again. So on the second time through, I would be equal to 1, it's still less than 40, so we go through and it keeps on doing that until I is 40. So we can put our system.out.println in here, around the world, and we can go ahead and execute it after I add my semicolon. And so now we've seen that we have printed out 40 lines of around the world, already off to a much faster start than what we would have had to do before. And but looking at the lyrics, we see that there's like a blank line after every 4 around the worlds. So to get around this, we can add a condition, right? And so we can say if I mod 4 equals 0, we're going to print a blank line. And to do that, we just type system.out.println, and that's it. This will print out a blank line every 4 lines, because if you don't know, modulus is essentially the remainder when you divide a number by 4. And so on 0, it'll get printed out. On 1, so 1 divided by 4 in Java is 0 with a remainder of 1. And so 1 does not equal 0, so we won't print it out. But when we get to 4, 4 divided by 4 has a remainder of 0. And so it will print out the blank line. And so we can go ahead and execute. And we can see that it looks a little funky up here. We have 1 line printed out and then our blank line. And so we can actually just move this down below, fix the tabbing, execute it again, and let's see what that gets us. All right, so that's how you'd print out the lyrics to one of the world's most repetitive songs. That might not seem like a super useful example, but you can actually do a lot of cool things with just for loops. A ton of programming challenges, like on LeetCode, are going to have to use a for loop, so getting familiar with for loops is definitely something that's crucial if you want to be a software engineer. One direct use of a for loop would be to use it to loop over an array. And so we can make an array by saying int array r for array equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then once we've done that, I'll add a space to make it a little bit more readable. And we can get rid of this. And so in this case, we want to be careful about our end condition because we don't want to go past the number of elements in the array. So we can say r.length, and so this will stop looping once we get to the end of the array. And we can print out system.out.println r of, and instead of putting in r of 0, r of 1, r of 2, we can just put in r of I. And we can go ahead and execute this. And we can see we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's an example of an application of for loops. They're extremely prevalent everywhere, and so it's definitely something that you should get familiar with. So that's for loops in Java. If anyone has any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one.